Hello again. Today we will learn how can we change the working directory in R. Basically, we will start R and ask very basic question where R is reading from. To do that, we can use the function that called get working directory, get wd. So now R is reading from documents. We need to change that to new directory. So we can do that by setting or set working directory. So before setting R to read from the new working directory, we have to create a folder or directory that we will read and write to. We'll assume that new directory is our new project. So to read from that directory, we will copy the path, copy as path in R. So now we'll paste that new path here between the parentheses and we'll change the backslash into double backslash or we'll make it a forward slash. Both will work. R is very unique in that. So now R is reading from the folder that called X. So to make sure R is already reading from that X folder, so we'll get working directory. So now it's reading from X. So let's create a data that called mm. So we'll make a sequence of data from 1, let's say, to 100. And we'll look at the data that we created. Actually, it's all the data. That's 100 number, simply. If you want to look at specific number in the data, we can just index it and say number 3. So now we'll write the data, write.csv, we'll call it ib3, for example, .csv. As you can see, here our data is a sequence of number from 1 to 100. We will write this data, so write.csv, we will write the data as Excel sheet, the data called the data that we already created, we will write it into our hard drive in the folder that called X, because now we changed the working directory into X. R will write to X and we'll read from X. Let's look in the directory that's called X. I put the directory on my desktop, so I will look at it. Here is my data. This is 100 digits, 100 number. If you looked here in the Excel sheet, you will find a new column. It's also called from 1 to 100. Actually, this is the row names. This is a row name for the data. So when we read the data into R, we have to consider the row names. Otherwise, it will be read in R as a new data column. So to read data in R, let's say the new data, I will call it IB2. What's IB2? I will read into that object. IB2 is an object. We'll put in that object CSV. We'll put IB3, the data that we have in our folder, in our hard drive. Oh, I made a mistake here. I forgot the quotation. So here is head ib2. I just want head function will give me the first rows of my data. As you can see here, we have a new column that called X capital. This is the row names actually. We didn't consider that when we read the data, so I just used it as a new column. To consider the first row as row names, so we'll call it row names equal 1. What it does, it will just use the first column as row names. So let's again rerun head function. Now it uses the first column as row names. What we learned here is how can we change the working directory from the default working directory, which is documents in R, into any other working directory or into any other folder. You can put that folder in any part in your hard drive, but the main idea is each project will have single working directory, and that working directory you will be reading from and writing to, and you will put the scripts of that project in that folder. That will make your life much easier than just use single folder for everything. And thank you, and we'll be discussing more about how can we use R in real life situation. Thank you.